I'm Shantha Ready Alonso. I am the executive director of the America the Beautiful for All Coalition. I was born and raised in the Washington, D.C. metro area, Piscataway land. I'm currently sitting in gorgeous Prince George's County. And I was raised by a mother and a father who found each other at a time when it was a little bit unusual to have interracial marriage. My father's family is from Michigan and they have Irish roots. My mother's family is from South India. She came here when she was a child. They met in Michigan in a uh, personality and culture class, an anthropology class, and they bonded over that. And I, as their first child, was really a bridge builder when the families were still learning what it means to have an intercultural family. I learned a lot as a child about code switching and peacemaking. And those are definitely skills that I bring to bear in coalition work all the time. I am fortunate to have had so many women who have positively influenced my life in many ways. The most noteworthy woman who I had the opportunity to work closely with, and most recently, is Secretary Deb Haaland at the U.S. Department of the Interior. What I learned from Secretary Haaland, just seeing her working with our team day in and day out to achieve a really ambitious policy agenda that worked to strengthen Indian country, to reach huge conservation goals, supporting President Biden and Vice President Harris and achieving the most conservation of any previous administration, pursuing really ambitious environmental justice goals that for the first time worked to create accountable systems in the federal government to show where investments are going and making sure that they're reaching the communities they should be reaching. We did all of that work in a way under her leadership that was just so down to earth and so people centered. And Secretary Holland is somebody who walks the walk when it comes to making sure that the way you treat people behind the scenes is translating exactly to the way that you want your policies to play out. She's a really team-oriented person. She always credits the team in public when we have successes. And she's very open and honest about the fact that she doesn't know everything and she doesn't need to know everything because we have a team. And to me, she just exemplifies authentic leadership at the highest level and high performing leadership. It is amazing to have worked with somebody who knows what she doesn't know and knows what she knows and is willing to show her cards. That this is what we're working on together. This is how we're doing it, and we're doing it together. Like I keep a picture of my amachi on my desk. My mother's mother. She is my hero. She's gone now, and I miss her very much. But I was lucky to have her in my life through my 30s, and she was tough. She came here when she was very young. My grandfather got his PhD in chemistry in Iowa. And at first, she and my mom stayed behind in India with family, and they learned quickly that it was going to be really hard to be a family while he was doing his schooling away. And my grandfather sung in a church choir at a Lutheran church in Iowa, and the pastor asked him about his family, and he explained that they needed a sponsor to be able to come to the United States. And the pastor wrote the sponsorship letter, and they were able to come and live as a family in Iowa. And it was not normal for an Indian family to be living in a neighborhood in that area. My mom learned English from her neighbors, and my grandmother, my amachi, I call her. She really had to develop relationships with people who had never met anybody from India before, and she just embraced it, and she became a really skilled homemaker, but learned things from her neighbors, such as, friendship, making friendship bread and, gosh, she's like homemade strawberry jam and all these things that I associate with her that she learned from people in Iowa. And then she also brought things from her culture. We love to eat upamao for breakfast, a cream of wheat dish that you saute. She taught that to other people. She became famous for her chicken curry. A lot of people loved that. So she really forged so many friendships when she came in and knew nobody, and raised my mother and her other two children in a community that she really did the lion's share of forming. And she also worked outside the home. She used the skills that she developed as a young mother in Iowa to become a home economics teacher. And that required, she always makes sure that people understand that that required education, that required a good understanding of math, it required high level planning skills, and those were things that she wanted to make sure she imparted to all of us, some with more success than others. I still haven't figured out how to sew, even though she tried to teach me so many times. Um, so yeah, when I think about work ethic, when I think about building social capital, when I think about being open to new experiences and new cultures and unknown situations, I think about my amachi. I will say one challenge and one thing that I always ask my colleagues to help me with is that I was raised to be very humble, and so we don't talk about ourselves and our triumphs very much. And in some ways, that is
Mhm.
a gendered trait. Women are often taught to be humble.
Yes.
Or I did grow up hearing the adage. I don't know. It was just around that behind every great man is a
Yes.
woman. I
Yeah.
will say I have had opportunities in my career to be the one who is out front. And when I am, I think about people like Deb Haaland, who is authentic and who manages to exude humility and at the same time stand confident and fiercely in the things that we believe in and that we're working for together. And I would say, oh, a challenge that I'm confronting. I mean, we're all in a deep challenge right now as I am watching um, the accomplishments that we worked so hard for during the Biden-Harris administration being directly challenged, plans to tear them down. Uh, and I know I don't want to see that, and I know the majority of the American people don't want to see that. We've looked at polling, and this is not what they voted for. Uh, you know, they wanted better grocery store prices. They don't want to see their public lands dismantled. Um, Americans love their public lands. So currently, with the mass firings of the stewards of our country's national parks, national monuments, wilderness areas, wildlife refuges, uh, forests, preserves. uh, our capacity as a country to take care of and actively manage the lands that our country stewards on behalf of the American people, that we pay taxes to take care of, to keep wild, to make sure that we conserve our biodiversity of our country, healthy watersheds, um, lots of opportunities for outdoor recreation. Um, that those things don't happen without people power. And with the massive planned layoffs and downsizing of our government, agencies, including ones that were already really understaffed for their missions, like the US Fish and Wildlife Service, are not able to carry out the important work that they have. And not only do they have to steward these lands, they need to make sure that the American people who are investing in these lands with their taxes have meaningful engagement to participate in taking care of them too, and making sure that the management plans for these lands are reflecting what the communities need, and the communities that are local to those areas, right? The communities that need to use those lands the most. We also have seen the plans that the administration has put out there for energy dominance and for extraction of minerals that will not allow for adequate time for local communities to give input about making sure that that energy and that mineral extraction is being um, managed in the right way in the right places. Uh, there are appropriate locations and ways to make sure that we're creating American energy and getting American minerals out of American lands. Uh, Rushing it, using extraordinary measures to fast track everything is not going to get us to the result that I think they think they're going after, because we are going to destroy natural treasures and community assets that we love, and people will not want that to happen. And there will be tremendous backlash. And through our coalition, we're going to organize some of that backlash. The America the Beautiful for All coalition is here to bring together the intersection of conservation, public health, environmental justice. And we are protecting those things by uniting almost 300 organizations, many of them rooted in local communities that are standing up to defend our local communities' involvement in the stewardship of our watersheds, of our ecosystems, so that they can be healthy for all. I see the America the Beautiful for All coalition creating a community of courage and a community that equips each other in solidarity. Uh, we need to bring our almost 300 organizations together into a closer relationship where we make sure that we're resourcing each other with the tremendous knowledge and tools that the leaders of all of our member organizations can offer. Uh, but not only do we need information at this time, we also need solidarity and an understanding that we are not alone
Yes.
as we are trying to confront unprecedented threats to our way of life as Americans
Hmm.
and our relationship with our ecosystems that have never needed our care more as we're confronting a climate crisis, a biodiversity crisis, and a crisis in access to nature for our communities. And we need that for everybody's health, not just people, but the species that live here we share this earth with as well. If we are going to pursue environmental justice work in the way that we do conservation, we're going to do it with a strong moral compass, regardless of whether that work is popular and favored at the highest levels of government or not. It is what we know is right to do, but we also know it is what is most effective to do. And that is because people want to see a public land system, an ecosystem stewardship system that reflects who we are as the American people in all of our diversity.
Mhm.
And that is the only way that it's going to work. If we impose and dominate a system that doesn't work for people, they're going to realize it's not working and they're going to change it. Uh, and we're going to organize that. I could not be more thrilled to be continuing working alongside Stone Manning. Tracy Stone Manning and I worked together at the U.S. Department of the Interior when she was the director of the Bureau of Land Management. And we worked closely together on the development and rollout of the public lands rule, which this coalition strongly supported, which made sure that conservation uh, conservation efforts and the ability to restore lands would be considered as something that is on equal footing with other
Mhm.
uses
Mhm.
of the lands that are under the Bureau of Land Management, such as mining or extractive activities or logging. And I, um, I just witnessed the innovation, the courage, the inclusive leadership, the curious and dialogical posture that Tracy brought to her last job. And I'm really grateful to be working alongside her in this new capacity with her on the steering committee of our coalition. Another woman leader on our steering committee who I've had deep experience with before is Teresa Martinez from the Continental Divide Trail Coalition. She and I worked together to co-found and develop the Next 100 Coalition for developing young and new leaders for our country's public lands and water systems. Uh, she has been such a thought leader and shiro for me in terms of a more inclusive and engaging system that includes everybody in the outdoors.